Usually when we look at historical legends, their origins are wrapped up in absolute privilege, like royalty grooming the next king. It is clean and it's predictable. But what if the ultimate leader was forged, not in a palace, but in the crushing grip of an economic famine? Welcome to this custom deep dive, crafted just for you. Okay, let's unpack this. How does a boy taken in during a severe Mecca famine become one of history's most revered figures?
Well, we really have to look at the foundational why of his life. Because of a massive economic crisis, the Prophet Muhammad took his young cousin, Ali bin Abi Talib, into his own home. This was literally just to relieve his uncle's financial burden. And I should mention our mission today. We are synthesizing historical analyses from various educational podcasts to explore his life.
Right, and as per our commitment to impartiality, we are objectively reporting the historical accounts and viewpoints strictly as they are presented in these Sunni sources. We are absolutely not taking any sides here.
Exactly. So because he was raised in that specific household during that crisis, Ali became the very first youth to accept Islam.
It is like having a front row seat to history before anyone even knew it was happening. And here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the night of the Hijrah, the migration out of Mecca. Ali is just 20 years old, and he sleeps in the Prophet's bed as a decoy against a mob of assassins.
Yeah, a literally fetal position to be in.
Right, he survives the night, wakes up, and then actually proceeds to return financial trust to the exact same enemies who just tried to murder them. I mean, who does that?
What's fascinating here is the duality of that moment. You have this supreme, almost unthinkable physical bravery paired instantly with absolute moral integrity. He did not just fight his enemies.
He basically upheld his community's strict ethical standards for them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He returned their money because a trust is a trust, regardless of who holds it or, what they just tried to do to you.
And that physical bravery was legendary on the battlefield. During the desperate defensive stand at the Battle of Uhud, he takes 16 hits defending the Prophet. And when they were sieging the impenetrable forts at Khaybar, the sources say he physically tore off the massive iron door.
But wait, I have to push back a bit.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
With all that battlefield glory, you'd expect a life of luxury and riches. I mean, he is winning massive campaigns. In any other empire, he would be claiming estates in gold.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, his reality was the exact opposite. He completely rejected luxury. When he married the Prophet's daughter, Fatima, his dowry was literally just his armor. It was a shield worth about 400 dirhams. That was it.
Oh, wow. Just a shield.
Just a shield. They lived so modestly that they physically wore themselves out just surviving. The sources describe Fatima's hands blistering from constantly grinding grain with a heavy stone, and Ali's chest bruising from hauling heavy water skins every day. But, living that closely to poverty actually gave him a grounded perspective that the elites completely lacked. I mean, when you aren't distracted by wealth, you evaluate laws based on pure equity.
Which perfectly explains his approach to legal disputes later on. He became the ultimate advisor to the early Islamic State. The second caliph, Umar, actually famously stated, if not for Ali, Umar would have perished.
So, what does this all mean? How does a unifier, a brilliant mediator, handle an empire that is suddenly tearing itself apart during the fitna, those early civil wars?
This raises an important question about the tension between pure justice and political unity. When he eventually and reluctantly became caliph, the empire was already fracturing. But instead of using political bribes to buy loyalty—
which was definitely the standard playbook of the time.
Right, exactly. Instead of doing that, he strictly redistributed wealth equally. He fired corrupt governors even though he knew it would cause immense backlash and civil war. He tried desperately to stop the resulting bloodshed with reason, but the division was just insurmountable.
He basically refused to compromise the law just to keep his throne.
He did, and ultimately he was assassinated while at prayer by an extremist from the Kharijite faction, which was a violent rebel group. Yet, even in that moment, his final words were, "I have won."
Wait, really? After being struck?
Yeah. And remarkably, he strictly ordered that the man who struck him be treated humanely and get a fair trial, with no torture.
It's an incredible story. It really proves to you that true legacy isn't about hoarding power. It's about holding on to your unwavering principles no matter the cost.
Absolutely. His life was defined by that integrity.
Which leaves you with a pretty wild thought to ponder long after we wrap up today. The sources briefly mention his deep influence on early legal schools, the fiqh. So how much of the foundational legal reasoning and conflict resolution strategies used in the modern world might secretly trace their roots back to his early, brilliant mediations? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.